Hello, students. Hope all is well. Here's just a very brief introduction to a very important research database, the SDBS. That's an acronym for the Spectral Database for Organic Compounds. Researchers use this, and I want you to hopefully bookmark it and be aware that you'll have access to this, particularly in your future when you need to look up some information on organic structures. It's maintained by the Industrial Science and Technology Associate National Institute in Japan, free to use. They ask that you print out no more than 35 or 50 structures a day. I've been using this for years. It's not an exhaustive. You're not going to find every compound under the sun, but every time you go there, you simply click down here, I agree, and you can enter the database. Okay. There it is. Now, you can obtain, over on the right, but I'll show you a different way, you can obtain what's called the mass spectrum, infrared, C13, H-NMR, Proton Nmr. We will not use Raman or electron spin resonance. I had all of a week's training in that when I was a graduate student. I don't know those areas, and you don't have to worry about that in your first year of organic. Those are highly specialized areas. However, all organic chemists and biochemists use mass spec, C13, Proton Nmr, and infrared. And you want to have just a brief introduction. Okay, now when you enter here, you can put the compound name, methane. But if it's a 1.5 mile long name like UPAC, you remember what was it, chapter 3 in lecture? You have to have that name exact or it won't find it. You can also put the molecular formula down or the molecular weight range. You might say, for example, I want to know everything from 100 grams per mole to 200 grams per mole. Also, you can have the Chemical Abstract Service CAS registry number. Every compound on this planet has a number. Or you can even add the SDBS number if it's in the database and you've bookmarked it or recorded the number. Okay, let's see what's there from 100 to 200 grams per mole. So we'll do search down here. And then we get a nice selection of compounds. I'm going to look for a nice one for you. And I am going to select succinic anhydride. Catalog number, SDBS number, is for that is SDBS, succinic anhydride. I'm following number 478. The formula is C4H4O3. It's a very important compound, succinic anhydride. You study organic anhydrides in Organic Part 2 lecture. It's 100.1 gram per mole. And in the database, they have mass spec, C13, NMR, Proton Nmr, and infrared. We got ourselves a winner. Okay, let me select first the infrared because you're going to be studying that in lecture in week number 3 of the 6-week summer course. So I'm going to select the infrared, and I'll be showing you briefly with a separate lecture the fundamentals of infrared. Let me not talk about any infrared theory right now. All I want to do is show you how to access and utilize the database. Okay, this is a typical infrared spectrum. And before you know it, you'll be able to identify maybe 2 or 3, 4 bands. And there's a prominent one right here. And then another couple over there. And this is the structure of the succinic anhydride. As I said, a very important industrial chemical used to make hundreds of very important specialty chemicals. It's derived from succinic acid, a double carboxylic acid, which is heated up, loses water, and cyclizes. There's the CAS registry number, but that would be your infrared. Now, the appearance of the infrared will depend on how you prepare the sample. So here, I'll show you over on the left what it looks like with a so-called KBR pellet, a disc of potassium bromide, which is transparent infrared, allowing you to place the compound in the KBR, make a pellet, and run it. So that's the KBR pellet. Note the appearance. Then you can run what's called a Nugel mol. Now, I also I'm an amateur artist and I paint. A very amateur, no, self-trained. And mol is when you take a pigment and with mortar and pestle grind it up, maybe with linseed oil or water, to make your paint. You're mulling. Now, Nugel is a long hydrocarbon. So what I'm saying is sometimes you take your compound, if it's a solid, succinic acid anhydride is, and you would put it in a mortar and pestle with Nugel mineral oil. Okay, that's another way to describe it. It's colorless mineral oil. And then you grind it up really well and run the suspension. And this would be the mol. Now notice we have this big prominent band over here. And that's because of the Nugel hydrocarbon. But you could see qualitatively the spectrum does change. Singular spectrum, plural spectra. So you always tell someone how you ran the sample. Okay, now let me show you the mass spectrum. I'm clicking on the mass spectrum. And that is going to be appearing as a bar graph. The final week of Organic One Lab, week number 6, I'll be showing you the basics of mass spectrometry. And that's a very important research tool in environmental analyses, drug analyses. And organic chemists, some of them specialize in structure determination. They don't do synthesis. They specialize in applying advanced techniques to determine the structure of an unknown compound. So you get a bar graph, and later on you'll see that's the molecular ion, and this is the base peak. That's your mass spectrum. Okay. Then hydrogen proton NMR run in DMSO-D6 solvent. So I clicked on that. Simple enough. Wait till you see some of them. But that's your proton. Hydrogen. We call it proton, but we don't mean plus. We simply mean hydrogen. Not deuterium or tritium isotopes, just good old-fashioned hydrogen. And that is your hydrogen NMR. And that runs from 0 to 10 parts per million. And we'll talk about that in week number 5. Here's your C13, which is run in deuterated chloroform solvent. And that tells you the number of carbons. So you have one at 170 part per million, one signal, and the other at 28.38. And we'll give you the very brief introduction. I teach an upper level course every 2 years on structure determination, but we're going to show you only the fundamentals, just a little bit of background. You'd have to specialize in this. And I mean, you go on and you can get a PhD in any one of these areas. When I got my PhD in 1980 from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I was synthesizing 3- and 4-membered rings with nitrogen. And I was also conducting what's called C13, N15 nuclear magnetic resonance to do structure determination, because at that time there was still a lot not known about 3- and 4-membered rings, particularly those containing nitrogen. Okay, so that just shows you, this little tutorial just gets you up and running. So if I say go to the SDBS and find this catalog number or whatever, you'll know how to get there and you'll be all right. What you do first, hopefully, is you listen to the lecture tape. PowerPoint slides will be there, infrared, and then go to the SDBS, and I'll probably give you a couple of assignments where I'll have you obtain infrareds and try to identify 2 or 3 of the signals showing up. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Bye for now.